Tosus in Divra Masloya Mashishi, he brings Rashi exactly how Rabba learns the halacha of Hachona de Rabba, Disa de Raiso. Then he asks a question. Ach Temo, right, Tosus, you see? Ach Temo. Hov Hachona de Raiso, according to Rabba, Hachona de Raiso, Hech Ofin Umevashlim Yom Tov L'Shabbos. Right, every Shabbos is Yom Tov, the Shabbos, we cook, we bake. Right. It's Hachona, and it's what? It's Yom Tov being mechin for Shabbos. V'chitem al yidei erev tavshilin. We have an erev tavshilin. V'cheosa takant rabbonav liyoka Hachona d'oraisa. Right, how does that permit you to violate? This is talking proactively. This is kum vasei. V'nira liyashev. The Rabba gufei also l'tami. Rabba is consistent with his own position. This lay hoel v'imlok mikloi orchim. Chosi lay. Hashtanami chosle. If orchim would come, it's considered ochel nefesh. So even if orchim don't come, it's hoel mikloi theory. It's possible, therefore it's permitted. So that's called yom to be mechin la'atzmo. It's not yom to be mechin for Shabbos. Oh, now there's a machlokas now achronim. Va'afil didan. Now what is afil didan? Even according to us. According to Rabbah, how early in the day on Friday do you have to cook? That it should be roy if orchim should come on Friday, but whatever he put up right before Shkiyah, it's going to be this doraisa, according to Rabbah, correct? It says vafil didan necho. 1 second. What does vafil didan? Even according to us, that don't hold of hoil, we don't hold of hoil. That's Rabbah's position. So if you don't hold the hoil, even if you do it earlier, and we accept Rabbah's shita of Hachona de Rabbo, so it's this doraisa even earlier. The chodov of vushel ushach be'achono shein mechuser rak tikun ba'almo. Something which already is classified as a food item, right? It's only the tikun ba'alma. It just has to be some level of perfection to make korah v'chosi leg, right? It's already chosi leg. Right. It's already classified as a food item. You're only making it edible, but it's a food item. Ragabi beishu dover chodosh lo hoye ba'olam. See, I pointed in Rashi. Rashi says, what is ha'chinu? You have to say, mikana nino to l'mocher. So if it exists, mikana to l'mocher. That's automatically, it has no relevance to achona. So if it doesn't exist, you can't say mikana nino to l'mocher. From here, I'm going to take for tomorrow. But even though it's inedible, unless you bake it, you cook it, whatever it may be, but as long as you can't say mikana nino to l'mocher, from here, I will eat tomorrow, that's already, it's fine. It's not a problem. He says, it's two things. It's okay. 1 second. So what's afil dan necho? See, afil dan means either that we don't hold of hoil, or it's back. I think there's a marshon, there's a maram over here. What about if you hold, we don't have orchim today? To say homik le'orchim, theoretically, it's possible to have orchim. What about you live in here, there's no orchim? I'll feel done in our communities where there are no orchim, right? Okay. So if that's the case, you can't say hoil. So if that's the case, even according to Rabbah, afil didan means in our particular situation. Not that we don't accept the sheet of Rabbah of hol mechori. So it's in the back. There's a marsho. 1 second. Second. Yeah. This is Maram. Yeah, Advarabo. Yeah, he brings over here the Maram. He says, you see it? Perke elu over in Bipsochim. Taf memvov pli Rabba Rav Chisda. Both from Yom Tov Lichol. The Rav Chisda Omal Loke. Rav Chisda says you Loke. If you bake from Yom Tov to Chol, you Loke, you Malkus. Rabba Omal Eno Loke. Why? Damin Hol. the miklo yorchim, havale. Okay. Upirish Taisus Kain, the mitam ho leko isa doraiso, kishoven bashlin, miyom tov l'Shabbos kid omer hosam, they no loker, but if you miyom tov l'chol, kim yisurah drabonon, right? So it's only drabonon, so that's the reason why erev tavshilin helps, because right? Iko zet tiknu chachomim, lay mishum erev tavshilin, erev tavshilin, sharinon yisurah doraiso, omalei b'doraiso tzorach Shabbos, and I'm going to stop. So now. So according to, but it's difficult. What about according to Rav Chisda? So how do you cook from Friday to Shabbos? Teretz says the Torah is matir, allows you to cook from Shabbos to Yom Tov, from Yom Tov to Shabbos. That's Rav Chisda's answer, right? Right. So it's the Gemara's question. According to Rav Chisda, doesn't know how are you permitted to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos with a takona rabbanon? You can't be matir to the Raiso. Omalei, so Rav Chisda answers, Midorais et Tzorchei Shabbos Nasa B'Yom Tov. Since what you... What?
Where does he find it then?
This is not a question, where does he find it?
Okay.
Right? He says, that's Alochel Mishpesina, Tzorchei Yom Tov Nasa B'Shabbos. V'Rabbanu Hu Degazrinon. So really what Tosas is answering, according Hoil, it's only Rabbanon. If Tavshil works. Tzorchei Yom Tov Nasa B'Shabbos. So Midorais is not a problem, except there's another reason why you make it Tavshil. Tosas in actual is asking the Gemara's kasha. He asks, according to Rabba, how do we cook from Friday to Shabbos when it's Yom Tiv? That's the Gemara's question. That's the Gemara's question on Rav Chisda. And the Gemara says, Bishlam, according to Rabba, he holds a hoil, it's not a problem. Right? But according to Rav Chisda, what he answers? Rav Chisda answers, right? Yesh Lomar Taisis Docha Makshu Kushit Mfreshes Shambi Gemara. Yesh Lomar. That Taisis called Kamnosan Taris Lididan. Now he's going Lididan, right? Taisis Lididan. The Kaimelon Bachona Durab Kirabo. Yeah. According to us, that we paskin. Lididan means we paskin like Rabo. Imket Ikisurim Vashli Yom Tul Shabbos. There's an Isser. V'lo Kaimelon Karav Chizdo. Lididan means we paskin like Rabo, and we don't hold like Rav Chisda that. Tzorchei Shabbos and Nasa B'Yom Tov, if we don't paskin that way, so how do we cook? The rice Tzorchei Shabbos Nasa B'Yom Tov, v'hovi meklo yorchin lo aminon kam kavos kein lidan hech ovim vashlim Yom Tov l'Shabbos v'utzchu l'forish dafil bishul tikune ba'almahu. Yeah, it's not a problem according to Rabbah. Yeah, according to us that we reject Rav Chisda. So according to us. And we don't hold of Hoil, and we accept Rabba that it's Nisidoraiso. So how do we cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos? Right? Yirakasha.
Okay. But if we don't hold of Hoil,
you don't hold the Hoil and you don't hold of Rav Chisda.
But how could it be? So over there back in Gemara, we don't hold like Rav Chisda who's about to hold Rabba for all the Hoil.
No, they're just he's arguing about that separate. Rav Chisda rejects Hoil. And it's just, how do you cook? Tzorchei Shabbos Nasa B'Yom Tov. Torah allows you. But Lidan, that we hold like Rabba, not this way.
But we also don't hold like Rabba by Hoil. So how do we have
Oh, good. That's Tosas Kasha. He answers, because it's Tikuni Be'alma. The Isser HaChona, the Rabba is Be'el, where it's Dova Chodosh. It didn't exist. Sure. But a double, which is not often Namavushul, the item exists. Sure. And since it's all Tikun Be'alma, that's only Rabbanon. For this Drabonon, that's why if Tafshilin is effective. That's what he's explaining. V'loshach be'achono, daina mashkoso teisis, afil dan necho, v'rizi b'sefer, chekose pirsh, afil dan so Leslie Orchim. He says, Chochem Shlomi, this is the Marshal. The Marshal learns, v'afil dan, that we have no Orchim. It's something similar. So if that's the case, you can't say Hoil. Meaning, reality is we hold a Hoil. But Lididan, that we have no Orchim, so there's no application of Hoil. So how do we cook from Friday to Shabbos? On that he answers, I feel Lididan from Lesla and Orchim. That's the Marshal. Chochem Shlomo learns this way. Here? So they're arguing, what is Lididan? Lididan that we don't hold like Rav Chisda, or Lididan that we have no Orchim? He says, to me a league. So the Marames on the Marshal, Madoch leforish came to Mashmos Lishon Taisish Kos Betchilo, Vinira Liyashiv the Rabbo Gufei Litame. Right? He says, Rabba, the way he answers, Rabba is consistent with his own shita. Hol miklo yorchim. Midikosu Rabba Gufe, Disle Hoil, Mash Behedja, Shabbalataris, Didan. The less one Hoil. Here he says. He answers, he says, Rabba, it's good according to Rabba, he holds of Hoil. So what's the inference of that? According to us, we don't hold of Hoil. So if we don't hold of Hoil, so how do you cook? So that he says, because it's Tikuni Balmo, so it's only Rabbanon, therefore. It's Tikuni Balmo. It's not Rabbo, no, it's not Achona. It's not Achona. The Issa of Achona.
So there's two potential terms here, right? There's cooking, there's cooking and Yom Tov is only allowed with Rabbi Yom Tov.
Put it this way, you have to say a number of things here. Everybody agrees that if you offer me Yom Tov L'chol, Shabbos from Yom Tov L'chol, it's the rice, it's Lokia. Right? Mm-hmm. If you're not able to, let's say, benefit from the bread on Yom Tov, according to us, if you don't hold the Hoel, also it's Lokia. It's going to be Lokia. Yeah. Less man de Polik, nobody argues that. Yeah. Right? So the question is, so why are you permitted to cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos? So he says, because that's Tikkun B'alma. What we're saying like this, it's halfway. Rav Chisda says, Tzorchei Shabbos Nasam Yom Tov. Torah permits it. But everybody agrees to cook from Yom Tov to Chol, Torah doesn't allow it, unless you hold the Hoel. Right? So it's not because, it's not called you cooking L'chol. But if you would cook L'chol, everybody agrees you're not permitted. So if I don't hold like Rabbo, I don't hold like Rav Chisda, Tzorchei Yom Tov B'Shabbos. I don't hold that. And I don't hold, and everybody agrees you're not permitted to cook from Yom Tov to Chol. So why could you cook from Friday to Shabbos? Why is that different than Yom Tov to Chol? Right? The answer is, because the Torah says, V'chinu asher yoviu. Chinu asher yoviu, the Isser to cook, Chol is Davar Poshet. How do you use Yom Tov for Chol? That's Davar Poshet. That you're not allowed. That's Nisdoraisa. Wait 1 second, because the Torah says that what? Ochel Nefesh is permitted only for Yom Tov. Right? If it's not Ochel Nefesh, it's not permitted. But when you're cooking from Yom Tov to Chol, from Yom Tov to Shabbos, that's called Ochel Nefesh. Right? Wait a second. It's called Ochel Nefesh. But not because it's Tzorchei Shabbos Nasam Yom Tov. Right? 1 second. He's reconciled it to it. It's a dochik. Tzorchei Yom Tov Nasam Yom Shabbos Nasam Yom Tov. It's a dochik. Within the Maram, it's difficult. If it's Tzorchei Yom Tov Nasam B'Shabbos, Tzorchei Shabbos Nasam Yom Tov, the question, but how do you reconcile that with Rabba? With Achana de Rabba. Here. Afil Didan that we hold of Rabba. So how do we reconcile the two? Right? No, we hold like Tzorchei Yom Tov, Shabbos Nasam Yom Tov.
Well, we don't hold that.
Wait. No. We don't know. No. We hold, yes. Tzorchei Yom Tov, Tzorchei Shabbos Nasam Yom Tov. To prepare for Shabbos, you can do it on Yom Tov. But if actually, but that's not the reason why, but we hold Achana de Rabba. So if we hold Achana de Rabba, how do you cook from Friday to Shabbos? The answer is what the Torah says, Achana de Rabba is where it didn't exist. Where it didn't exist, that's where the Torah says. But here, that it does exist, Torah permits you to cook Yom Tov L'chol, from Tzorchei Shabbos Nasam Yom Tov. Even though it doesn't fit into the words. 1 second. Yeshlom the Tosas Kavlas Lidan the Kam Bachona de Karabo. V'kein Isura B'Vashel Miyom Tu Shabbos V'lo Kaim L'Karav Chisda. He says V'lo Kaim L'Karav Chisda. Dom B'Dorais Tzorchei Shabbos Not Miyom Tiv Hol Mikli Orchim Lo Amninon. Right? Kaim Lo Kavosei. V'kein Lidan Hechan Ofen Vashel Miyom Tu L'Shabbos. We'll first Afir B'Tigur Malmo. See, it's difficult because then afterwards, why is it different than cooking from Yom Tov to Chol? Right?
It's like he's including the whole. Oh, cooking. That's what I was saying. Cooking is not cooking.
No, but yet everybody agrees you're loca if you bake from Yom Tov to Chol.
Right.
So you have to say there's something which the Torah allows when you're going from Yom Tov to Shabbos.
Right.
But we don't hold it.
Wait, 1 second. So yes, the Torah is matir it.
Right.
So you're forced to say that.
Right.
The Maram is difficult. Maram is difficult. It's difficult. How are you permitted? He says you don't hold of Rav Chisda. The way we're saying you do all the Rav Chisda. Except it's not a stira to Hachon de Rabbo, because Hachon de Rabbo is Dova Chodosh. Something that didn't exist. But something that exists, the Torah permits. Something that doesn't exist, the Torah doesn't permit.
Okay.
But that really has nothing to do with you doing anything. It's coming naturally. The egg develops naturally.
Right.
But and that the Torah says you're not permitted to eat that egg.
Okay.
Right? The egg that's laid on Shabbos, you're not permitted to eat if it was preceded by Yom Tif. Because that egg evolved on Yom Tif preparing for Shabbos.
Right.
But to bake on or cook on Friday, which Yom Tif is not a problem. Because the food existed.
Right. The flour. You said yes. Flour.
It's Tikkun Ha'alma.
Right.
Okay, the Rambam is difficult. Difficult. Okay, not a problem. Let's go further. Let's see. Yeah. Further in Tosus. Tamo. Right. Rashi said, when it says, V'chinu asashe yaviu, v'yo b'yom hashishi v'chinu asashe yaviu. What's Yom Shishi, Rashi said? Chol. The average Friday is a chol. So when the Torah says the month fell, when did it fall? If the month that falls on Friday, you prepare for Shabbos.
Right.
Or the month that falls Erev Shabbos, you prepare for Yom Tif. So what's the inference of that? The month didn't fall on Yom Tif.
Right.
And didn't fall on Shabbos. So the Torah says about Tabo. Kama shaman lo yore b'Yom Tif. Kirpish b'Rashid. Hashishi aroi la'achona. Friday is the day that you could prepare. Right? So that means what day could you prepare? The Tzchol. V'zeh b'chol v'omar v'yivorach v'yikadesh. Borchu b'mon v'kitchu b'mon. So Borchu b'mon v'kitchu b'mon she'b'Shabbos lo yored mon av b'Yom Tov hoyored. So specifically Shabbos the month didn't fall.
Right.
Right? That's when they received this double portion. Nechem Mishneh was what? Was Erev Shabbos. But Erev Yom Tif, well, on Yom Tif it did fall.
Right.
So what do we do?
We'll see in a moment. Yishlom the Medrashim Chalukim. The many Medrashim. Kedis of Medrash Shabbos lo yiyeh l'Rabbos Yom Kippurim. Yeah. Lo yiyeh l'Rabbos Yom Tif. Meaning there are other measures such Yom Tif it also did not fall. The month. Shloho yored ben Temon. So if that's the case, you have Lechem Mishnah. Like you have Lechem Mishnah on Shabbos, you have Lechem Mishnah on Yom Tif. Od Yishlom that filo yored be Yom Tif. Factually, it did fall on Yom Tif, right? It says Shishi. Yom HaShishi means Chol,
Right.
right? Kol b'Yom Tif shchal lios b'Erev Shabbos lo yored. Push it. It fell on Yom Tif. Did fall on Yom Tif. But if it fell, if Erev Shabbos came out, was Yom Tif, it didn't fall. Why? Because you had to prepare it, and you weren't permitted, because then it's Yom Tif, it's Mechel Shabbos.
So you had to go to hold in order to do it. So where's that happen?
No, it had no value.
Exactly. Right.
K'dichsiv krog, bo biyom hashishi, v'loksiv shishi.
Right.
Mashma shisha miyuchot shiroi lachona. When did it fall? Yom hashishi, the day that you could prepare,
Oh,
right?
Right.
But factually, you couldn't prepare on shishi for Shabbos. V'lo b'shishi Yom Tif. My difficulty is why didn't it should have fallen on Yom Tif Erev Shabbos. You eat it on Friday. Normally, you always ate them on the day it fell.
Right.
Right? So eat it on Friday. Friday's Yom Tov, let it fall and eat it on Friday.
What about Shabbos?
Anyway, in Pramisha said it that you prepare on Thursday. That's all. You won't eat Monday. Now, let's say it didn't fall. I understand that. Wait, it's true. No, it's not a problem. It fell. Let's say it fell, but was the Echina. Echina means the day you could be Mechin. Doesn't mean the Monday didn't fall. Well, you'll be on Hashishi. Right. But we're saying now it did fall on Yom Tif. It did fall on Yom Tif. But it didn't fall on Yom Tif, it was Erev Shabbos, because you weren't permitted to prepare. So I'm asking, but why? I'm asking just why didn't it fall on Friday? Let him eat it for Friday. Why is Friday different than any other day?
But then Thursday would have happened.
It's
So you would've
Thursday.
needed a double portion.
So you do need, and either, now you need a triple portion.
Right.
Now you need a triple portion.
Yeah.
You need for Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos. Let it be a double portion. Thursday's portion will be for Thursday and for Shabbos, and the Erev Shabbos portion will be for Erev Yom Tov, which is Erev Shabbos. You follow me?
Right. But can we say that the Erev Shabbos is really the Chol, and it's not Friday?
No,
Can we
no,
say
no.
that?
Normally we're saying it did fall on Friday
Right, but now we have to say just
because
Chol.
Friday is Roy Lachana for itself.
Right, but if it falls on Chol, so in other words, it's either Wednesday or Thursday that we get.
No, we're saying now if it was Erev Shabbos, it wouldn't fall on Friday.
It's the Erev Shabbos.
Why wouldn't it fall? Because it's not a Yom which is Roy Lachana, because you're not permitted to prepare from Yom Tov
Right.
to Shabbos.
So what's that need of that Chol that day? So that's something. It's something that you can't, it's a day you can't prepare.
Chol
have
means
to
you
go
could
back
prepare.
to the-
Chol means the day you could prepare.
Right, but you're saying Erev Shabbos, meaning that it was a yontif on that day.
So that's a kasha question I'm asking. Tosas is not saying it.
Oh,
Tosas is saying when Erev Friday was Yom Tiv,
Right.
it did not fall on Friday. It means on Thursday you got 3 portions.
right,
Right? You got for Thursday, Friday, Shabbos.
right,
If it was just an ordinary Yom Tiv, it fell on Yom Tiv.
right.
That's what Tosas says. Why? Because there wasn't a question of preparing for anything. The month was for that day itself, and you
Right.
prepared to prepare on that day.
Good.
But even in terms of that, why would it fall on Yom Tov? Doesn't Yom Tov also need Haftarah?
No, but no. The Yom is Mechem Latzmo. The whole, yeah, it's only ain't Yom Tov Mechem Shabbos and Shabbos Mechem Yom Tov. It has to be. We're talking about Shishi to the next day. Chol.
Applies to Shabbos?
No, it applies to Yom Tov too, but it's only one day to the next. It's one day to the next. Here it's not one day to the next. Of course you.
I think the whole story Rashi gave that for something that's questionable.
No, but what does the pasuk say? What's the pasuk say? I'm ochel nefesh is permitted. How do you cook?
How do we get there?
And not only that, the Gemara says that the Yom Tov Balma, it's mutter to eat. It's only Gzeira because of what? Of Shabbos preceding the Yom Tov. So you see Midoraisa. The egg is laid on Shabbos. It's not a problem. Okay? Now, Tosas asked the question, the Gemara says, we should make a gzeira when you slaughter a chicken and you find completed eggs inside of it, we should make a gzeira, right? And you shouldn't be permitted to eat
The eggs.
to eat the eggs. The Gemara says, "Muslo shchichi." So what was the gzeira? Was the gzeira that should be seen as eggs that are laid on Yom Tov, right? Which means would be considered gzeira l'gzeira, correct? Or do we say no, chad gzeiri? Or do we say that no, you shouldn't be eating those eggs because a gzeira of Yom Tov, Shabbos preceding Yom Tov? Yeah? The Gemara asked the question. We learned in the Beitzah, right? If you slaughter a chicken and you find completed eggs, you're permitted to eat them on Yom Tov. So the Gemara says we should make a gzeira, right? Right? Ligza mishum hanatim siyaldim biyomein. So we understood the Gemara. We should make gzeira those that are born later on the day itself. Wait one second. Meaning a Yom Tov which is independent of anything else.
Good.
Said, well, why isn't it gzeira l'gzeira? Because people see it as one and the same, right? Tosas doesn't learn this way. Tosas himself, Nigzu b'shem halachim shalom yom ve'ein ze gzeira l'gzeira.
It's not.
It would not be called considered. Why? The mutar lochlam b'yom tov mashma afil b'yom tov lachar Shabbos. He says, well, it says you're permitted to eat eggs on Yom Tov. What does that mean? From that, it seems to me even if Yom Tov was preceded with a Shabbos. I mean, it doesn't read right, Tosas. He says, it's not considered Gzeira l'Gzeira. The mutar lochlam b'Yom Tov. Stop. It's not called the Gzeira l'Gzeira. Why isn't it called the Gzeira l'Gzeira? It is a Gzeira l'Gzeira. Right? So what is he answering? He says, because the first question is, not we should make a Gzeira to Yom Tov. We should make a Gzeira to Shabbos preceding a Yom Tov. Right? Mashma afil Yom Tov lachar Shabbos. Let's get back to the Gemara. So our answer is Mislo Shchicha lo gozer b'Rabbanan. Since Mislo Shchicha, it's something which is remote, that when you slaughter the chicken, you find completed eggs inside. Mislo Shchicha lo gozer b'Rabbanan. So we asked the question yesterday. Remember where we left off? What milk slow shchich lo gozer rabbanan? It's nis d'oraisa. If we're saying that anything that's found today was prepared the previous day, so you can't eat, so how are you permitted to eat the eggs found in the chicken? Right? Milk slow shchicha. So this is what I think. The egg in the chicken, you see as the egg. If you let's say the chicken grows, it gains an ounce over Shabbos. Right? It's a davar chodosh. We don't say it's part of the chicken. No, it's the chicken. It's not a new entity.
Right.
If the egg is laid, that's a new entity. That's an entity that is now. When you slaughter the chicken, you find eggs inside the chicken.
It's a chicken.
It's like you cut off a piece of meat from the chicken.
Right.
You understand? The egg in the chicken is the chicken.
Right.
When it comes out of the chicken, that's a davar chodosh.
Okay.
So that's the word is a good question. But since it'll be confused, the egg in the chicken with the chicken that comes out of the egg, factually looks like the same egg. So I want to make a gzeira, and that the word says milk slow shchicha. Since it's something which is remote, doesn't happen that often, we're not concerned about a confusion.
Good.
But if that's not called hachana. That's not hachana d'Rabba. Let's take a look and tell. Kosher dilmim lo shoch. He said no dayom. Im came Esher Gomer lo ti ose belugzeiro. Misofik. You know what he has? S. We're saying right now, if the egg is not meant to be, if the egg is not completed, when do you see the egg as a davar chodosh? When it's late for sure. When it's late for sure, right? That's a new entity. What about I slaughtered it too early, but it would have been laid? Says you're not aware of it. Says to be a safek d'oraisa. That's Tosaf's question. How are you permitted to eat the egg? Maybe this egg would have been laid. So if an egg that's meant to be laid, you don't see it as part of the chicken.
Right.
So if that's the case, how are you permitted to eat the egg when you find it in? Maybe it would have been laid.
Okay.
You had a kasha.
Yeah.
We're saying now, what is a davar chodosh? When it's laid, for sure it's a davar chodosh, the egg that's laid. The egg inside the chicken, it's not push. If it's meant to remain the chicken over throughout Shabbos, throughout Yom Tov, that's not a davar chodosh. That's part of the chicken.
Right.
But if it's meant to come out on Shabbos, that reveals that it was independent of the chicken.
Right.
So if it's independent of the chicken, how could you, and you're not sure, that's Tosas Kasha. Yishloma de me'achton lo doldo. Since factually it wasn't laid, ay de kach lo nechshav gemar. Yeah, this, even if it would have been laid later, until it's laid, you see it as part of the chicken. And it's only seen as it's only a davar chodosh when it separates from the chicken. Okay, me'achad lo noldo. It's not even a suffix. It maybe would have been laid.
No.
It's irrelevant. But until it leaves the chicken,
It's
how do you see the egg?
chicken.
The egg is chicken.
Good.
Lo nechshav gemar. We have some toast in Amar Aleph, which we never did. Dilma b'Yisham les lo muktzah. According to Rav Nachman learned the Mishnah that what? The Beis Shammai says the reason why you can eat the egg, because they don't hold the muktzah. So Gemara says, maybe, what are you asking the Beis Shammai? How could you eat the egg? It's muktzah. Maybe they hold the muktzah. That was, Gemara says, it's true. They may not hold of muktzah, but they should hold of nolad. Because nolad is a more extreme level of muktzah. So that Rav Nachman says, no, man leslie muktzah, leslie nolad. Just as Beis Shammai rejects, like Rav Shimon rejects the concept of muktzah, nolad, even the exaggerated, the more extreme. Okay. Teimo. But Masnisen come behedju the Beis Shammai islu muktzah. Diktoni. How could you even consider the Beis Shammai doesn't hold of muktzah? It's an explicit mission later. Beis Shammai holds of muktzah. What does it say? If you have, let's say, you have chickens in a coop, and tomorrow you want to slaughter them. Before Yom Tov, you have to take the chicken and shake it and say, this is the chicken I'm going to eat tomorrow. If you don't do that, you're not permitted. Why aren't you permitted? If Beis Shammai doesn't hold the muktzah, and over there we're not talking about a nolad. The chickens are in the coop. But Beisham said, unless you actually identify the chicken by lifting it and shaking it, you're not permitted. So you see clearly Beisham holds a muktzah. So how could the Gemara say over here the reason why you permitted to eat the egg? Because Beisham doesn't hold of muktzah. It's explicit that Beisham does hold of muktzah. That's Tosa's question. Tamer the bastis come badge the Beisham yislo muktzah. Tiktoni lo yi elam kain nena or nenea mebojom. Unless he shakes the chicken before Yom Tif, which chicken he's going to slaughter tomorrow is not permitted. Ve'ishlomar the muktzah balichayim chomir. The muktzah of balchai is much more severe. Umuktzah biyoser. Chomit tvei umuktzah biyoser. So it's that kind of muktzah, that's what Beisham holds of muktzah. Because they're balichayim. V'hosam hu d'isli muktzah. Kedach hasinan. Reb Shin avgav d'lesli muktzah. Islay gabi grogus u'tzmugen d'skatzoi tvei. He's bringing something else. Now, everybody agrees. Reb Shimon doesn't hold the muktzah. But if you take grapes and figs and put it on the roof to dry, it's called grogus u'tzmugen. Even if it's fully dried and edible by the end of Yom Tov or Shabbos, you're not permitted to eat it. Because there was an interim period which you had no control of, you never knew where it was going. So when you put it on the roof to dry, that's called dachib daim. You negated it from a food item. When it's oozing all the juices, it's inedible. It's inedible. Its value is that what? When it's fully dried. But as long as it's oozing its juices, you cannot eat it. It's inedible. So that's cool. So therefore, since you did an overt act to put it in a position that it should not be edible, therefore, even if Shimon agrees, that's muktzah. That's muktzah. Something that you didn't think about to be available, like the chicken in the coop. It's not a problem. Because the chicken is available. You don't have to do anything. So he's saying that Beishamai, just as we find Reb Shimon holds a grog resut smukim, even though it does all the muktzah, it's a more serious type of muktzah. Identically by the chicken, because the balichayim, unless you actually shake it, it's muktzah.
What's the sword about?
It has no relevance to this. One second. I was thinking, maybe the reason that there's a svara later in Be'ah, that's something you could have done earlier and you didn't. That itself is dachib yadayim. That's considered negation. Let's say something was available and you could have taken it before Yom Tov, and you did not. Why did you not? The answer is that says you're not interested in it. As a result of that, what do you have to do to indicate that you didn't negate it? You say, with this chicken I'm going to eat tomorrow. That designation dispels any consideration that you negated it. Yeah. It would be anything else. It's available today, it's available, I have to do nothing to it. But the chicken it may not be available.
Right.
So as a result of that, you have to designate it.
Did you say Shammai agrees that the fruit on top of the roof is muktzah? Did you say he would agree with that?
We'll discuss it.
Well, we just talked about it. That you put the fruit on
He
top.
wants to show that even if you don't, Reb Shimon, who doesn't hold the muktzah, Reb Shimon, he holds a grogus at smukim. It's the same thing. Even though Beis Shammai doesn't hold the muktzah regarding the egg,
But he would agree.
but Balichayim, that you have to have a designation, pre-designation. And if it's not pre-designated, it's muktzah.
Good.
One second. See, I'll show you. Yeah, the Maharsha goes on. Why is Boya Balichayim Muktzat? Pirush Balichayim Heichot de Maktzim Idaite. Specifically, he negates it in his mind. Why? The cave and the food Dioni Shovach, the Maktzim Idaite Churban Shovach. We're talking about How do you replenish a coop? The new litter of birds, they're the future. So therefore, in mind, doesn't want to use these birds because that's the future for the coop. So therefore, what do you have to do to undo that negation? You have to pick it up. Say, from this I will eat tomorrow. He says, "Mishum churban shovach chomer tvei mishav alechaim miu hoch betargolas avgav davi balichaim avil b'mesli al beim lo maxi datay minayu vishem gedelim b'bayis beisu shalodom." Okay. He doesn't want to kill them because they're going to perpetuate other birds. They're going to bring other ones.
But if he stole it back by once, he still needs it to use it. The negation is not 100% negation.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, let's see further. Let's go further. I'm an Aleph. So it's interesting. Beis Shammai was saying like this. The Gemara concludes this way. When Beis Shammai says you permitted to eat the egg, you definitely permitted to eat the chicken. And it seems to be this chicken you don't have to designate. Right? The Mishnah says later you have to designate it. There we're talking about Yoni Shovach. It's a different type of bird, different type of chicken. Because of its value, therefore you have to designate it. This is a regular Tanagos Menes Legal Bayim. It's a chicken machine. An egg machine. Therefore what? I'm using it for eggs now. Tomorrow I'll use it for something else. He always has in mind, my dechozile. As long as there's no cost factor. There is a cost factor. Because you're ruining the coop. You're ruining the future development of the coop. Here we're talking about an individual bird. An individual bird by itself, if it's roy lachila, you don't have to have anything more than that. Okay? Mar says, Mar says, what's the chiddush? That even if Beis Shammai holds like Reb Shimon, I'd say that's only regard to the bird. But regarding the egg, which is nolad, it's a more extreme case. The lo matzi inish my dechosile. It's Rashi. Avu nolad lo hoyim. He didn't even know it existed, that he should have it in mind. V'tema do Reb Shimon b'shari b'muktzah, shari b'nolad. Kedaminan b'shabes. The Gemara says over there, Reb Shimon, who's matin muktzah, he'll permit nolad. Yeah, it's going the other direction. We're saying over here, even if you don't hold the muktzah, you hold of nolad. Right? That's what we're saying. Because nolad is more extreme. 1 second. Shimshim muktzah shari b'nolad. Shar muktzah shar b'nolad. I mean, Reb Yudome ein masikim b'shiv kelim. If you have let's say you had a wooden kneading bowl. So when Yom Tov began, this was a functional bowl. Now it breaks on Yom Tov. So what have you gone from functional bowl to firewood? Right. Can you? It should be muktzah. Of course, its original usage when Yom Tov began, what was its usage? For kneading, not for firewood. Okay. So over there we find nolad. It says the one who is matir muktzah is matir nolad. Reb Shimon. But the Gemara wants to say no. Nolad will be osir. Ishlomar lo domi. Behind nolad, the hocha behind nolad. Stop. Behind nolad the hocha. You cannot compare it just because it's the same word. It means the words apart. Why? The hocha v'kenolad tveish mitchil hoya ba'olam. The egg didn't exist at all. Lo hoya ba'olam. Aval hosam hakli hoya ba'olam.
Yeah.
Right. The vessel existed. It wasn't broken.
Good.
Rak shenishbar v'chein mashka mi be'ervin. Maya be'eva mivla bli. It says over there the water is absorbed in the clouds. Uporich koshkein tavi nolad v'osur. Yeah. Koshkein im noil v'osur maid porich v'dilma ho Reb Shimon matir. Okay, we'll leave this here. Okay. Further in the Gemara. We'll come back to Tosin tomorrow. So far we have two pshatim in the Mishnah. Why is Beishnal the B'yamtiv lo ochel according to Beis Hillel? No, Howard. What's the first reason?
First, because of preparation Shabbos.
First reason given the Gemara, Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman says it's what? It's muktzah. Muktzah. Man dislay, muktzah dislay nolad. Beisil follows whose position? Rabbi Yehuda. Right? That's the reason why not. Rabbi says no, it has nothing to do with the ordinary muktzah.
It has to do with nolad.
It has to do with achona de Rabba. Achona de Rabba. Because the egg that's laid, it's laid on Sunday, which is Yom Tif, was prepared on Shabbos.
Right.
So you're not permitted to eat that.
Good.
Okay, good. Now we have another reason. Rav Yosef Omar, Gezerim Sheper Sanoshin. You're not permitted to eat it because people confuse it with a fruit that falls off the tree on Yom Tif. There's a Gezerim, Sumar says, Bishper Sanoshin, Omale Abayi, Per Sanoshin, Nishamai. What's the reason why if an apple falls off the tree, Shabbos in your boy can't eat the apple? Right? Gzeiro Shemi Yalav Yitlosh. Because he may ascend and take another apple. Eats that apple, he may take another apple. Rashi, the Yitlosh that the Hava Yisur Doraisa, Dainu Kotzer, Shu Avolocha. It's reaping when you pick the fruit from the tree. Yeah, time in Nashul, time in Mai, Zer Shemel Vitlo, she goofa Gzero, Banek Gzero. What's the worst? He goofa Gzero. Lote Zug Zero, the lacy pears and notion. Here we're saying like this. Why aren't you permitted to eat a fruit that falls off a tree? You may pick another one. Is that a valid fence? That's a valid fence. Right? Torah says make a fence that Torah shouldn't be violated. He may pick the fruit, so therefore rabbinically we say don't eat the fruit, because that may cause you to pick the fruit. Okay? What about, I say that the egg is similar to the fruit that fell off the tree. So I'm goes there, I say, if you eat the egg, you end up eating the fruit. And if you eat the fruit, what did you violate?
Right.
That fell off the tree? Only it's Rabbanon. So why isn't it Gzera L'Gzera?
Why is it?
Why is it not Gzera
Why is
L'Gzera?
that?
It's Gzera L'Gzera. Okay, that's what you said. Chada Gzeri, lo shtei zu Gzera. That's Gemara's question. It's a Gzera L'Gzera. V'nigzer, Gemara's Gzera L'Gzera, kula Chada Gzeri. He gufa Gzera, van nekum nik Gzera L'Gzera. Not being able to eat the fruit that falls off the tree is the Gzera. Now I'm saying if you eat the egg, you eat the fruit. And if I eat the fruit, what did I violate? A rabbinic fence.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. So then so we come to eat the chicken.
Yeah. Chada Gzeri, lo shtei zu Gzera, lo osi leisel de pers hanoshin. Actually, nimnu v'gozo pers hanoshin, when they said you're not permitted to eat fruits that fall off a tree, avei hois b'mashma. Stop. Yeah. What's a Gzera L'Gzera? We make a Gzera, this Gzera. You're not permitted to do this because you may violate the Oraisa. Now I have some other situation say, if you do this, you're going to violate that. That's a Gzera L'Gzera. What about when they originally convened regarding the halacha of what? Of Shemi Yalav Yitlosh. They said, what is conceivably Yalav Yitlosh? Everything from A to Z, including the egg that's laid on Yom Tif. Because it came from its source of growth, so that's similar like a fruit falling off the tree. So now, okay, it's like the fruit of that. So it's Chula Chada Gzeri. Rav Yitzchak Omar Gzerim Shemashni Shezovu.
Is there more to that Rashi? Yeah, I forgot the whole deal.
V'avagav Lesem Mishum Talisha. I want to leave that right now. Okay? Get back to Tosus here. Back out. Now we want to know why each one doesn't hold like the other, right? Abai says, Mashu shezov time my gzeiro shem yischot. He gufa gzeiro v'ana nekum di gzeiro, right? Same idea. The air coming out of the chicken is like juice oozing out of a fruit. And if I allow you to eat the fruit that oozes out of the fruit, you come to what? Okay. To grinding, or to schita. We're going to stop here.